We got to wrap up 2025. There's a couple names here that we're going to cover. I want to get the final intel. We're less than 48 hours from National Signing Day. So let's start with Ty Haywood. And my question to you is, can Michigan close on the highest rated uncommitted prospect on the board, Ty Haywood?
They absolutely will. I love where the Wolverines stand with Ty Haywood. Took his official visit 2 weekends ago. Sharon Moore, Grant Newsome, Sean McGee, and staff members went down there right before that. All the intel heavily favors Michigan to add Ty Haywood to a class that includes Bryce Underwood and offensive tackle Andrew Babalola. The Wolverines sit at number 9 in the On3 recruit standings right now. Could finish number 6, Josh, with Ty Haywood.
All right, let's talk about edge Zahir Mathis, top 150 recruit. And Steve, it seems like we have a huge momentum shift here. Do you still like FSU, or has your opinion changed on where Zahir Mathis is going to sign on Wednesday?
Well, we kind of forecasted this momentum shift, didn't we, on a recent episode of Whip On Whip Around? We said we liked where Florida State stood, but Maryland getting that last visit loomed large. And right now it's looking like some Mike Loxley Terrapins magic here with Zahir Mathis. I have an On3 RPM in favor of Maryland Monday morning, but he's going to talk to Florida State on Monday night. The Seminoles are going to make another pitch here. So we'll see if FSU can flip it back for Zahir Mathis. But right now, Maryland is looking strong coming out of a weekend official visit, and it is down to those two programs. There's been some Virginia Tech talk. There's been some UCLA talk. He's a former Ohio State commit that visited Penn State during the season. There was some Michigan talk, but it's coming down to Maryland and Florida State. Maryland snagged the momentum away from the Noles over the weekend. Can Mike Norvell and company get it back tonight? We'll be monitoring that up till Wednesday's announcement.
Yeah, a lot of twists and turns in this one. I mean, at one point it was FSU Michigan. We thought, maybe some other teams would get involved, like a Maryland. You had called that from a couple weeks ago. Watch out for Maryland, and here comes Coach Loxley and his staff. We'll see. This is a really heated recruitment getting down to it. Let's talk about Onis Konanbanny. He's a DB that's been committed to Tennessee, but did not sign with the Volunteers during the early period, and now heading into Wednesday's National Signing Day, it seems to me, Steve, like the Gators are the team to beat for the Tennessee commitment. Do you see the Gators as the leader heading into signing day?
Yeah, spatula season is upon us one more time for Onis Konanbanny. Took a shadow day visit to Florida earlier in January. I almost said earlier this month, but it's February, Josh. And he did a shadow day with the Gators, which was the final thing, right? Getting back to Florida, seeing what a day in the life of a Gator football player would be. Loves Coach Will Harris, loves Coach Billy Napier, the direction of that program. The vote of confidence given to Coach Napier and that staff during the season was huge in the recruitment of Onis Konanbanny. We like Florida. Final decision coming on Tuesday, and it's trending towards Gainesville.
Wow. All right. Now, we got a really intriguing recruitment here. Not one that even a week ago, I wasn't sure this was going to happen, but Javari Flowers, he is a reclassified from 2026 to 2025. Last Wednesday, he goes to Miami Northwestern. So he is now set to, he's not going to sign. Break this down for us.
Yeah. So Javari Flowers, he was outstanding during practice and during the Under Armour All-America game, one of the best defensive backs in the land, regardless of recruiting cycle. He was a 2026 recruit that recently made the decision to become a 2025 recruit.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all running together. So he's in the 2025 class. Georgia offered him right after the Under Armour game, and he that was an offer that really resonated with him. He visited this past weekend for the first time, loved everything about his trip, talked about the development track record, the players being like-minded, being on campus. He really felt at home at Georgia. So Georgia becoming more than a dark horse in this recruitment. Obviously, the On3 RPM is on local Miami. There was a lot of buzz around the Hurricanes coming into the Under Armour game when he was a 2026 recruit. But Florida, Florida State, Syracuse, and Georgia are 4 other programs that he has a keen eye on. He's going to take his official visits in the spring and set himself up to enroll in the summer and get ready for fall camp with the school of his choice. Miami, A lot of buzz coming into the new year. Georgia
Mm-hmm.
giving him a lot to think about. Gators, Seminoles, Syracuse, Orange still battling for Jabari Flowers.
You think they all get official visits in the spring?
I think that most of them will. Um, Most of them will get official visits. I don't know what the calendar looks like to fit all five in, but he's been talking highly about all those programs. So we'll see what happens.
All right. We got one more 2025 prospect we got to talk about, and that is AJ Tuitele. He signed with Washington State, but when Jake Dickert left to become the head coach at Wake Forest, he reopened things. So, Steve, who's trending here?
Well, he's On3's number one ranked player in Nevada, top 150 prospect overall. He is an intriguing recruitment down the stretch. My On3 RPM remains on USC. Talking to sources again Monday morning, I like where the Trojans stand to add AJ to their class. This is USC class. Very heavy on the defensive side of the ball. Lincoln Riley went out before the season, hired Deontin Lynn as his defensive coordinator, one of the most pivotal coordinator hires in college football. Now he comes back for year two. They're bringing in a really talented class on this side of the ball, and they want to end this cycle with Tuitele in the fold, and I think that they ultimately land him. They're battling Arizona, Washington, and UNLV, but sources still indicate that USC is in a really good position to land him. And they have the nation's number 15 class coming into National Signing Day.
All right. Some major developments still with the 2025 cycle. You guys in the comment section, you're the real recruiting experts. Where do you guys think they will land on signing day? Let us know. Only 48 hours to go.